How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How's everyone doing in the studio?
We're trying our best to be fine and stay safe. For you, what has been going on since the lockdown started?
Um, to be honest, nothing too different from anyone else who's been on lockdown. Been at home, been trying to make it work, trying to stay active every day. Special thanks to the team I have, my coach, my physio, my strength and conditioning coach. They've been able to put something together for me to keep me active so that whenever this ends, I won't come back when I was in square one. I'll come back in a reasonable place to get back into training.
Okay, that's a good one. We know that London has been badly hit, and that's where you are currently right now. What is it like not being able to go to the gym and not being able to do any other thing, just staying indoors? And of course, if you want to go out, it's just maybe once in a day.
Um, to be honest, when it first started, it was a bit sad, but some of us need to understand that the guys in the front line come first. People's lives are at stake. So we cannot be selfish in this situation and say, oh yeah, we want to go out, we want to go to the gym, we want to do all these things. We have to think about those people first. So at first it was a bit sad, but I got used to it. Sometimes you're down, sometimes you're thinking, but you need to find things that keep you active. If it's playing games with your friend, if it's reading a book, if it's taking a walk, just if it's learning new things. I've learned how to make some new meals. I've learned how to make gizdo, for instance. I never knew how to make gizdo, but I started learning how to make all those little things, just to keep saying,
All right, Shay. Thanks for joining us. Yemi here. Let me just,
hi, Yemi.
yeah, let me just quickly ask you. I know the sportsmen and women are not immune from what is happening in the world. A lot of complaints about people battling depression, people not being able to cope with being put in a lockdown situation. As a sportsman, are
Yeah.
sportsmen really in danger of being in that situation as well?
Oh, most definitely. Like the coronavirus is not saying, oh yeah, you do sports. Oh yeah, you're a doctor. Oh yeah, you're a nurse. Oh yeah, you're a farmer. No, 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 no. The coronavirus doesn't care who you are. Everyone is in danger of getting the virus. So you just have to keep safe. Abide by the rules that they're setting, the government. And to be honest, rain cannot fall forever, man. One day the sun will shine. So we just have to wait for that day and be prepared for what happens when we get back on our normal lives.
All right. Let me just ask you. So I'll get back to the question I was trying to ask about depression and all that. But something came to my mind while we were on that break, and I just want to put it straight to you. A lot of people, the doctors and the health experts, have been talking about the possibility of probably shifting the Olympics again. Some are saying, look, the issue of vaccine is very serious. So I'm going to ask you if by next year, when we're supposed to be having the Olympics and there's no vaccine, will you be willing to still go to Tokyo?
Um, to be honest, it's not my call. I can't just say, oh yeah, I want to go to Tokyo, but other countries can't come to Tokyo. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than any other individual person. It's actually a collective decision that has to be made. So to be honest, if there's no vaccine by next year, I see it very difficult for people. I was watching the news yesterday. Some lady was sitting in her house with her family saying, listen, like if there's no vaccine, she might not even leave to go to work because no one knows who has the virus. No one knows who you're coming in contact with, and then you're coming back home to your family. So we have to wait and see if a vaccine comes, and I'm hearing that it's going to be 18 months or thereabouts. So we just have to wait and see. But it's not my own personal call. Every athlete wants to go to the Olympic Games, but it's not about me. It is about the welfare of every other person that's coming, their families, the organizers, the volunteers. There's a lot of people that are involved, and we need to put in perspective about all of us, not just one person.
I understand your perspective. I understand what you're trying to see in order, because it's going to take a whole lot of people to actually make that decision. Of course, the NOC will also be part of it. Another question I'm going to ask you is also has to do with the Olympics. You know, you guys were actually training, just thinking Tokyo was going to be in August and all that, July, August. That's what you guys were all thinking, you know, training vigorously, just getting ready for the Olympics. And then it was postponed. And now the Diamond Leagues, of course, most of it has been called out, called off. As an athlete, what are you doing to, you know, to ensure that you keep up that positive mindset, just thinking that maybe something might come up much later?
To be honest, everyone had the goal this season. The goal was to go to the Olympic Games, go to the African Championships, compete well throughout the whole season, you know, and just set yourself up for maybe next year, where it's World Championships. But everything has changed now. But most of the time, you cannot forget the objective towards that goal. You know, even though the goal changes, the objective towards the goal doesn't change, you know. And my own objective as a personal, as an athlete, and has always been, is to be the best I could be. You know, whatever that will be is me working hard to the best of my ability. I will not be motivated every day to train, but whenever I'm motivated, you know, I just try and do as much as I can. If it's just going for a run, if it's doing sit-ups, if it's doing press-ups, if it's watching videos of myself, you know, I must not forget the objective to leading towards that goal. You know, most people will forget the objective leading towards the goal, and that will be detrimental to them.
Of actually losing shape.
Yeah. To be honest, everybody around the world have different circumstances. Some people have been, for instance, Italy, they've been at home. They can't even go and jog for weeks. So we must put into consideration their own part as well. But for my own self, I'm trying to make the best use of what I can do. You know, there's a park down the road. I'll try and do some sessions down there, you know, do some at home, do some bands, and so that whenever I come back, I would not be lagging behind. I would be in a reasonable place to start work again. But I know, like, everybody will get their time, you know, to be able to put in some work, and we'll see how it goes.
How that goes. Another question I need to ask you is, I mean, athletics generally, I mean, before the Olympics and all that, in Nigeria here, we have some peculiar situations where athletes will have to fend for themselves and all that. But then a new sport minister came in and he changed everything, having a situation whereby adopt an athletes campaign and all. What do you make of it? What's the future of the Nigerian athletes?
I don't know what the future is, but I'm grateful to the minister, Mr. Sunday Dare, you know, for bringing in that initiative, you know, the Adopt an Athlete campaign for this year. It was getting closer to the Olympic Games where some people had not gotten adopted, but now we have, I don't want to say it's a blessing in disguise. Now we have another year to be able to put in different things in place to be able to, you know, perform at reasonably well at the Olympics next year. But, you know, kudos to the minister for bringing in that campaign. You know, it's better than nothing. You know, hopefully everyone can get adopted, you know, and they can put it to good use towards their own individual goals. And yeah, thank you for that.
Individual goals. You talked about you want to be the best you can be. That's what you always desire to be. What is that best you're talking about?
To be the best I can be is, you know, everybody wants to be. To be honest, I've gone to every major championship that's ever come across in the world of sports. I've been to Olympics, I've been to World Championships, and now it's not about me going to those championships anymore. It's about me going to the championships to do reasonable stuff, you know. It's about me going to championships to make finals. It's about me going to championships to run personal best. You know, those are the kind of things you want to do. It's about you getting injury-free throughout the whole season and maximizing your talent, you know, and inspiring the next generation, you know, to look up to you and say, okay, wow, Seye did this, you know, so why can't I do it? So that's my own personal goal as an athlete.
You have that goals, and not everyone always have that, because some people just get confused sometimes along the way. What advice are you going to give to the athletes that are at home right now, not training, not knowing what time will be in the future?
They need to understand that, listen, there's not only them that's in this situation, there are tons of us in this situation. And, you know, as I said earlier on, rain cannot fall forever. One day sun will shine. So they need to stay positive, you know, try and start doing new things, if it's reading a book, if it's so that whenever you leave this situation, you look back and say, oh wow, I learned this when I was sitting down in my house doing nothing. You know, I was reading a book, I was learning how to cook, I got closer to my family, you know, just little things. It doesn't have to be extraordinary stuff, you know. So I'm just telling them to stay positive, and by the grace of God, you know, everything will clear up soon and we'll get back to our normal ways.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, Seye, for joining us this morning, and stay safe.
No problem. Stay safe. Thanks for having me, guys, and God bless you.